Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Island Tea right here on With Media SKN with your faves, Kevin and Azim featuring Jade, Gwenny Gwen, ID to CPL, Matthew Stuart Johnson. And it is Friday, March 11th. March 11th. Jade, good morning.
Good morning, friend. How are you?
I am doing well. And how are you? Oh,
I am fine.
you're fine now.
Yeah, bye.
I was a bit concerned for a second there, but you assured me that all is well.
Yeah, man. You know, just a little bruised and beaten, but...
Hey. We don't want nobody getting the wrong impression.
Oh, no, I just fall this morning.
Hey, let me tell you something. There is a few things I fear in life. Failure and falling as an adult.
Yeah, bye. I wasn't too far. I'm just laying right there.
But just give up. Just
Yeah.
give up the ghost.
But you and I have to come here for a certain time.
Ah.
Pick myself up.
Dust yourself off and try again.
Exactly. Well, not really try again, because major into that again. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're trying to walk.
Well, you know. The 2 foot them is different.
But let me tell you something. I have seen some persons fall and it hurt to my core. It's like, ow. Like,
Thankfully, mine wasn't too bad.
okay. It was a slip slide?
Yeah,
Why was
it was a slip slide. A slip
slip
slide and a
slide.
dip.
Slip slide and a dip?
Yeah, then I catch myself.
Usually the dips is what I get your knees out of here. Yeah.
No.
But you-
Thankfully,
okay,
that
great,
didn't
great,
happen.
Great. I am happy to hear that. Because we know. Yeah, we know you could be.
Bye.
Yeah.
So you falling as an adult is something else, boy.
Too many people right now looking for hip replacements and things.
You know them parts, body parts scarce.
Yeah, but they could find pig hearts, but they're
hips
struggling
them
with
is what I got
they're struggling with the hips.
Big hips can walk.
Pig hips, I
Pigs
don't.
got hip. But you never think about it, eh?
Pigs must got hips. Pigs must got hips.
What you mean must?
They might not function exactly like ours.
Oh.
But the only reason we don't know about them is because they're probably eating a lot of meat on them, so the pork eaters don't eat them.
I see.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
really think about
We only care about the tasty parts of the pig.
As we should. I mean, excuse me.
What's happening?
Yeah. But anyway, what's up with you, friend? We're just waiting on our dear friends over in Antigua to let us know that they're
ready for
ready.
this thing?
Yes.
Yes,
We are.
I am doing well. We were saying things just now, like things.
I'm pretty sure we was hearing something.
Okay. But yeah, no, I'm doing okay. Yesterday I was a little rough, but I was real tired and outside. I just kind of checked out from the world, and so I have a lot of calls to return today.
Oh, it's one of them days.
It was one of them days. Sometimes you need it. You need to check out, and yeah, just don't people.
Don't people.
So I was not peopling yesterday. I did the exact opposite.
Whew, sometimes I love to not people.
I mean, in the evening I went to the supermarket.
You had people there.
And and I had a lovely conversation with the clerks.
Boy.
Yeah, so that was my people for the day.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that was my people for the day.
sounds good to me.
I think what happened was I was able to have that conversation because I know they were probably gonna get off at like 9 p.m. And I was going home in my bed again. So
Oh,
like,
yes.
so like it was like, okay, I'm not the worst.
No, man.
I'm not the worst. It could be worse.
It far worse. So, we're standing by. Our friends are about to join us. Before a lovely conversation with one of our favorite people, Miss Rhoda.
Oh yeah, we rolled it back to that.
When Rhoda is here, it's always a party.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
See,
I mean, in background music.
I turned it off because
Oh.
I know that was coming in now. So I didn't want to, Where did I send this message to the wrong person?
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Rhoda Barath, who is down in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So this morning is the regional link-up of Federation of Twin Island States or Twin Island Republics. Well, we're not all republics. Only Trinidad and Tobago is a republic so far. Hopefully we'll get there someday. I'm not sure if anybody's hearing me or everybody's hearing me. Good morning, Jade. Azem, y'all hearing me?
Morning, loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Morning, Darren.
Fantastic. Morning. Rhoda, good morning. Let me introduce.
I am hearing you absolutely fine. I turned on my video, but I'm not seeing my video on my end. So if you guys are seeing my video, I'm happy. No, I turned it on and it's not, for whatever reason, it's not showing. And I'm not sure why, because.
Okay. Turn it off and turn it back on. Let's see if that works.
All right. Well, I don't want to have to log out and
Oh dear.
seeing what the problem is. Sorry, I'm
Ah.
fixing it. There we go.
Hey.
Good morning.
It was linked to another camera that I don't have attached to the laptop right now. Sorry about that. So this is, listen, all again, my full morning face here, right? This is my full morning face. Because I roll off my bed, looked at the time, and I was like, oh, Jesus, Lord, I tell this man I'm going to be ready for him this morning, and look at the time. So I rushed and made a cup of coffee, and I splashed some water on my face, and I logged in, right, Darren? So that I am here,
Yes.
right? Only getting full morning face. That's why I told you I'm, half asleep, but mostly lucid.
Mostly lucid. And we're very grateful for that. And for listeners who are trying to figure out who is this Trini that I have on a regional link up this morning, her name is Rhoda Barath. She is a lecturer on academic literacies at the UE St. Augustine campus in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And she's also the creative mind behind one of Trinidad and Tobago's leading social commentary vlogs, and that's News Source. You'll find her on Facebook, you'll find her on YouTube. Absolutely fascinating conversation. She has, I would say, a very in-depth knowledge about a wide range of topics and presents it in a way only she can. Rhoda, thank you so much for agreeing to carve out some of your very precious time for us this morning to share, well, with our listeners what's happening in the said Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Lord help me. We have a federation of St. Kitts Nevis, we have the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and we have the state of Antigua and Barbuda. Hopefully we'll all be republics one day.
Darren, for you, once I have the time, I will make the time for you, because you're one of my favorite persons in the region. So I'm always happy to make time for you. So good morning to Jade and Azem as well, because it's always nice to link up with all of you and have a conversation. And I'm thinking I should that it's time for me to haul all of you into News Source from time to time, so that we can have another link up in down here in Trinidad and Tobago, because we tend to move in silos,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel it's time to end the silos, especially since where we're located, because we're located to Latin America, because it's an energy economy, our focus tends to be different. It's not as, in my opinion, at any rate, it's not as regional centric as it can be, as it ought to be. Plus, Azam easy on the eyes and Jade very easy on the eyes, and Trini men like themselves good-looking women, and Trini women
You sound like you have one for me.
like themselves a man with dreadlocks. So Aslam and Jade will they will win.
Oh, fantastic. Speaking about energy and the energy focused economy of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, with the machinations of my good friend Vladimir Putin, I say, of course, good friend in very
Yes, you're
bold
being
inverted
sarcastic.
commas.
Yes, you're being sarcastic.
I
Quote
am.
marks there.
Ex- yes, exactly. Has the increase in oil prices, the increase in natural gas prices, generally the increase in hydrocarbon sources, has that had a knock-on effect yet
It
on
has
Trinidad and
had,
Tobago's oil
yes, it
industry?
has. It has had a knock-on effect. And here's the interesting thing. The knock-on effect is going to be a double-edged sword. And let me explain what I mean by that. Because of course, we know that our economy is a fuel economy, right? What we also need to factor in is this. For decades of our existence, I would say for more than 4 decades of our, actually more than 5 decades of our almost 6 decades of existence, because this year we're going to be 60 years independent this year. We have had a fuel subsidy, and that means based on energy prices, the government here, the state here, the treasury here subsidize the price of fuel at the pump. So when the rest of the world, or certainly most other countries where there is not an energy economy, you pay the price at the pump based on whatever it is, whatever the price is everywhere else, right? So the price of gasoline can fluctuate. So one day you pay maybe $2 for a gallon. The next week you might end up paying $4 for a gallon. But we've never had to deal up with that for a very long time. We would have had very steady prices. And then in the last 5 years, we have begun, actually last 6 years, we have begun to reduce the fuel subsidy, which means cut back on how much the government is absorbing, cut back. So this increase in crude oil and gas prices globally means increased revenue for us, yes, because we're selling, but we also need to be producing fuel here at a particular level that would make the fuel subsidy, that would balance off the fuel subsidy. And our production levels are not where they should be. So right now we are at less than 100,000 barrels a day. I don't have the full figures in my head, which is why I can't give you specific figures. And ideally, we should be about 120,000 barrels of crude a day. And as a result, if we were at that level, we would be making enough revenue from this spike in energy prices to balance off the fuel subsidy. So it means now, even though we're making more money off the spike in fuel prices, there's also the fuel subsidy. And that means that the treasury has to find money to pay off the subsidy. That's one, right. That's one option. Or Trinidadians and Tobagonians will finally face what everybody else is facing at the pump. So I have a sister in the United States. I have my best friend who lives in Germany. And last week they were quarreling about how much money they had to spend to fill up their gas tanks. And I'm listening, and I said to them, next month might be the first time I will be joining you all in this conversation, because the Prime Minister 2 or 3 nights ago, either Tuesday night or Wednesday night, he would have had one of his regular conversations with the Prime Minister meeting. And in that meeting, he indicated that fuel prices are likely to go up because they're going to allow the price at the pump to fluctuate. So they're going to be removing the subsidy. So we finally have to put on our big boy and big girl undies and face the music. So there is that. So that, just to say, yes, there is an impact on us. There is a positive impact in terms of increased revenue, but there is also a downside in terms of the impact of the fuel subsidy that we have, and the very strong likelihood of us having to face regular market prices of fuel at the pump. So the cushion being pulled away, the safety net being pulled away.
Right. And at a time when prices are going up, it almost sounds counterintuitive. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly.
Azem?
It is counterintuitive. It sounds counterintuitive for us, but the reason it's counterintuitive for us is that we've had so many decades of this safety net. We didn't I don't think a lot of people understood how much the government was absorbing by way of that subsidy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
Azem?
well, I mean, I'm just listening to the particular dynamics in Trinidad as it relates to the fuel prices. Even here, people are balling out really about about what is it that's happening at the pumps. And I don't know if I really see a way for it to come back anytime soon. Because no one knows exactly where this whole
Agreed.
where it's gonna go. It's
Agreed. I'm agreeing with you there, Azem. We don't know where this whole thing with Russia, the Ukraine, and any of the other countries where it's likely to go and how it's likely to evolve. One of the conversations that I've been having in the last 2 or 3 weeks, well, since the invasion took place, is that the conversation we need to be having in the Caribbean about alternative sources of energy needs to become way more serious. And I let me not say the Caribbean, because then that makes it seem as if, the entire archipelago has not been doing what they need to be doing. And I feel quite certain that other island states have been doing way more than we have been doing. Because we don't use solar energy here as much as we should be using solar energy. We are very reliant on gasoline as our power source for electricity, for powering all of our plants, for powering industry, for powering homes here. And that's because we have energy, and our energy prices are very reasonable energy prices. So our electricity rates are one of the lowest. Up to now, up to now, our electricity rates are, I think, the lowest rates in the Caribbean. All right. And yes, yes, Jade, the lowest rates in the Caribbean. And if you say to a Trinidadian, the electricity rates are going to go up tomorrow by, let's say, 10 cents, 20 cents, $1, everybody will be up in arms about it.
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium, but we're not factoring in that the rest of the region is paying way more than we pay for electricity, right? And there are lots of knock-on effect things. But you find too that there has not been that big push, whether it's from private sector or public sector, to really embrace alternative forms of energy. And even like electric cars, electric vehicles, those. So I think what's going on in Europe gives us the opportunity here in Trinidad and Tobago, and certainly the wider Caribbean, to begin to talk about how are we harnessing and using the energy around us. Because when you think about it, we have access to more natural forms of energy than most other countries in the world. Whether it's sea, wind, sunlight, we have access to a lot more natural sources or green sources of energy.
Right. But hopefully we could see,
who's gonna initiate.
No, go ahead, Darren.
I defer to you, sir. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I was actually gonna move on the conversation, because I'm very interested in what's happening in Trinidad as it relates to the taste of Carnival, if that's because.
Why don't call me and ask me like easy questions? Why is not the basic easy things like, Rhoda, did you crochet something this week? Or Rhoda, did you try a new brand of tea this week? Why will you do that?
There's no fun in that. There's no fun in that.
But
We
what's
could
So
ask you
happening?
what flavor coffee you had
Oh,
this morning, but
this
that's another
morning,
story.
the flavor, I added cinnamon. I grinded some cinnamon and I added it to my coffee this morning
mm.
to make sure I woke up myself properly. So I have to start with a disclaimer here, as in one, I was diametrically opposed to the taste of carnival.
All right.
I have to start with that. I need to put that there because I want the listeners to grasp that there's a possibility that some of my personal bias might creep into the commentary that I'm going to give here, right?
Okay,
Noted,
okay,
noted.
okay.
So, with that being said, sometime in January, a digital schedule came into the public domain listing carnival events. That was the first time the country was aware that there were plans to have any sort of carnival. Because up until December of 2021, there would have been questions asked of the Prime Minister at press conferences about, are we having a carnival in 2022? Because are we having a carnival is a question that Trinidadians will ask all year long, because carnival
Correct.
is very important to us, not just as an activity, not just as an entertainment activity, but as an entrepreneurial activity, right? It's big business in this neck of the woods. So there would have been those questions over and over and over again. And the Prime Minister's response would have been, no, there's not going to be a carnival. He doesn't foresee that there's going to be a carnival. And having a carnival was hinged on vaccination uptake, right?
Ah,
That was my understanding up until late December and early January. So when we came into
vax to dance.
2022, so vaccination, and we had to be vaccinated up to a particular point. What they had allowed and what the public health ordinance was allowing up to that point in time was people having events, and there were venues, and the venues would be allowed to have events. They would be able to hold up to like 50% capacity. And then, bam, just like that, a document leaks, and you see in the document Taste of Carnival. And the suggestion for this Taste of Carnival is that they're going to have the Taste of Carnival in pods, right? So people would be allowed to go to these events at these venues, and you would be housed in pods. So you get to the events, and you have to purchase like the 1, 2, 3, the four of us here could purchase a pod or purchase tickets for a pod, and when we get to the event, that's where we in a pod together, right? And the pods, I think, they could hold up to 10 persons or something like that, but it had to be 10 persons within the same group. So it couldn't be 10 random or 10 arbitrary persons in a pod. Everybody, one person had to purchase the pod or get the pod, secure the pod, and then it would be persons within that group who would be part of the pod, right?
Correct.
Now,
Like a crew.
like, yes, there you go, like a crew. That you know what, that's a much better word, because that's the word we use here. So your crew, and you organize your pod, and right, good. Now here's the interesting thing. We have a budget. September, so this is where my bias starts to seep in, right? September, October, every year you do your annual budget, and you present your budget to the parliament, and it's aired to the public, etc., etc. And so you have to you have to schedule those things within your budget. Carnival was not scheduled, it was not catered for in the budget last year. So to then see, and rather to know it was not catered for in the budget, to hear the Prime Minister say up until December that there was not to be a carnival per se, people could have their events. And then in January, to see this leaked document about a Taste of Carnival, you have to pause and ask yourself, you must, if you are paying attention to public issues, well, when exactly did this become a decision? When did this get before the cabinet?
Right.
Because if we were hearing up until late December, no, there is no carnival, and then 2 or 3 weeks into the new year, you see a program for a Taste of Carnival. When did it go before that? When did it go before the cabinet, for the cabinet to say, okay, yes, we're going to do this, and we are approving this, blah, 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 blah. And then why was it not done as a formal announcement at a post-cabinet press conference because we tend to have regular post-cabinet press conferences, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so based on those basic questions, there are a couple other questions I could ask as well here, but I ain't trying to air all the dirty linen in one shot,
In one
right?
link.
In one shot. In what is, especially since the dirty linen could well end up to be, it might be defamatory on my part if I ask certain questions. So I want to be sorry, that glitch was on my end. Somebody was trying to call me via WhatsApp.
No problem.
And I'm using it on the laptop. So sorry about that. Right. So those are some of the basic questions that I had to ask. So just on the basis of public policy and public spending, I had an issue with how this whole thing unfolded. And that's the fiscal policy part of things. I also felt that we were only 50% vaccinated. And what needed to happen was you could use Carnival as an incentive for persons to get vaccinated and say we were going to have once we hit this particular percentage, let's say 60%, 70%, we will have a carnival later down in the year. Let's say August time, right? That because our independence is in August. So I felt that it could have happened later down in the year. There's nothing to have stopped us from having the event later down in the year, just for this year.
Right.
Incentivize the population, and you have a situation where more persons would have been vaccinated and more persons would have had their boosters. And then of course there was the whole thing about these pods and events where you were supposed to be masked, and then you see the videos of the events and it's like, well, Carnival fets curing COVID clearly. right. So there were, huge events, water fest and all kind of thing, and nobody masked at all. So I looked at it and I said to myself, well, I want to see them numbers in 3 weeks time. In 21 days time, I want to see what those numbers are going to look like. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I completely understand and appreciate that perspective, especially the whole idea that you're removing the incentive or the encouragement for individuals to go and get vaccinated. In order for us to do this, we need to do that. We can't be irresponsible and just throw caution to the wind. So I understand that thinking. I don't think my thinking would be very separated from yours by any significant degree. Jade, you're very quiet. What happened?
Nothing. I was just listening to.
Follow-up question for Rhoda?
Jade doesn't agree.
Who said that? Who told you that? No, I agree. Like, you can't put the country at risk for Carnival. Come on.
Well, that's how I felt. But of course, there were lots of people who felt otherwise. They felt, well, all they don't want us to enjoy ourselves, all they don't want us to have fun. There was even the pods became a controversial issue, right? And there would have been persons who say, oh, all of you who have thing against the pods are fine, blah, 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 blah. And I would be consistently saying, yes, but the procurement process has question marks around it. And we in the Caribbean, I think, can understand, because this is something that we experience. It's a global experience, but I think we experience a lot of it here in the Caribbean. We experience a lot of political corruption, where this one know that one, and this one scratch this one back. So I might know Jade real good, and I know that Jade providing pods, or Jade could provide pods, and I am in a position to get the contract, to give her the contract, and so I give Jade the contract, and next thing you know, we have decided that we are having this event. Jade have the contract to provide the pods, but there has been no transparency around the granting of the contract. So nobody know how Jade get his contract. Number one, we didn't even know that.
That's why she's so quiet.
That is why she's so quiet.
No, I'm just over here trying to figure out what are the pods? What are
the
pods?
pods are like cabanas? Will it be?
The pods are like cabanas.
Okay.
Like cabanas, right?
Okay.
So, yes. Now, you see how Jade getting on there? What are pods? That is Jade absolving herself one time. Pulling herself back, right, from the corruption corruption she knows she was involved in, right? So
If I am
all of
not
a
involved in corruption here, I'm not going to somebody else's country to get myself in it.
all of a sudden, Jade has decided to gaslight us into thinking she don't know what pods
Imagine
are,
that.
and she not sure what this contract is about. So that's the point. That is what had me upset about the entire thing. We didn't know that a carnival was coming. And how we found out a carnival was coming was through this leaked document. And right after they leaked the document, they hold a press conference to show people, well, we hosting carnival in pods. And I was like, wait. To host a carnival in pods, anything like that requires you to have to put out a tender asking persons to provide a particular service. When did that tender go out? Right? When did the RFP go out for Azam and Jade to put in the proposal to say they could provide cabanas for us? Nobody knows when that RFP went out. How did we decide that we're choosing Jade cabanas over Azam cabanas? Nobody knows, right? And then next thing you're hearing is that Jade providing us with cabanas to the tune of $12 million.
Boom bang.
Yes, Jade, you know, it's a whole $12 million you're making cabanas this carnival, girl.
I think we might need to get into this cabana.
No, I just know lunch on you. That's all I know.
But I'm curious.
That's my essential beef with this whole taste of carnival thing, because I didn't have a problem with people going out and enjoying themselves and experiencing catharsis, right? Because of course people needed it was clear to me that people needed that release after 2 years of being locked. But I just felt we ain't vaccinated enough, and these cabanas, more question than answer with these cabanas.
Question: what's your cases like currently?
Who good? Just now. Let me go and add pull that up and tell you.
And while you pull that up, I have a listener who is asking. They tuned in late. They want to know who their Trini sister is. So I'm just letting you know that we're listening to Rhoda Barath. She is the brain behind News Source, which is a very popular vlog in Trinidad and Tobago. And maybe, Rhoda, while you look for the numbers for Jade, you can tell us a little bit about News Source.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you have the numbers.
I have the numbers. Go ahead. Let me give all the numbers first. So right now, the number of new positive cases, 462 persons. Yesterday, we had 4 deaths, which is way down. You all remember the last couple of times you had me here and I was lamenting what the death figures were like. Right. In total, we have had 3,673 deaths. And right now, we have 19,621 active positive cases. All right. So overall, 19,621 active cases. Yesterday, we would have gotten 462 more cases. We had 4 deaths recorded yesterday, and our hospitalization numbers are lower now. We have 239 persons hospitalized, and vaccination numbers. Do I have vaccination numbers here? Oh, just now. I have to look at it properly. So 705,153 persons are fully vaccinated, and well, the rest would be not fully vaccinated. So the fully vaccinated percentage, let me give it in percentages. 50.4% of the population is fully vaccinated as of yesterday.
So when is Carnival supposed to be held?
It done.
It done?
It's going.
It happened already.
It happening right now.
So with all of this is crazy.
Jade, but Jade, you know you done get with the cabana.
Clearly not. Clearly not. Where my money?
Jade, check your
Where
bank
my money?
Check your bank account, Jade.
Wow, that is wild. I would like to say from the point of being a kitchen, I could never see a case where we have that many cases and we're allowed to even go outside.
Jade, between the announcement and the carnival, between the leaked document and the announcement and the actual taste of carnival was 1 month. So it leaked, and then 4 weeks later they do everything. Everything happened 4 weeks later.
That's not suspicious at all.
Now, the Nixonian, oh please. The Nixonian question is, what did the cabinet know And when did they know it?
And you
So
see
my
that? I am
yes.
not commenting on that.
Oh, I wanted to invite your comment. Um, have you gotten a response or reaction from anyone in officialdom to the questions that you've quite appropriately raised about these issues? Because it
I
has to do with,
I have, but
governance.
I've gotten responses off the record, and so I can't tell only what the responses are on air, but I have gotten off the record responses.
well.
And the
Oh,
mere fact that I can't tell you
fascinating.
what the responses are on air should give you insight into what the responses were
Yes.
like. All right?
I think I have
And
a fairly
everybody
good
knows
idea.
what the process,
So just before,
everybody knows what the process is. Everybody knows what the process is supposed to be.
mhm. Question. Just I think I would have asked it while. By the way, while we're talking about dashboards, Jade, you want to share your dashboard? You have your dashboard? I'll
Do.
share mine real quick so that Rhoda can know what our situation is. 5 new cases. This is, by the way, a dashboard that was pushed out overnight, published on the 10th of March. 5 new cases, no persons hospitalized, 18 persons isolated, which make up the total number of active cases, 18. Recovered cases, 7,313, 135 deaths, confirmed cases overall 7,466, and the number of persons fully vaccinated 61,327, partially vaccinated 2,377. That's our dashboard, most recent dashboard there for you, Rhoda. I think our picture is
Those
granted.
and
Our population is
those figures aren't
yeah. Go ahead, Rhoda.
those are some promising those are some promising figures. It seems to me, or it sounds to me, as if your population has been a little bit more, not a little, actually significantly more responsible than our population has been.
Right.
Well, for
Jade, you
us,
want to share your figures?
so this is as of yesterday. We've had 0 confirmed cases in the last 24 hours. 1 recovered case, which brings our total number of active cases to 4. For the since March 2020, we've had 5,538 overall cases. Unfortunately, we've had 42 deaths. When it comes to vaccinations, our fully vaccination percentage is 82.7. For boosters, it's just 9.4.
Okay.
People with 1 dose is just 77.5.
So we've been having a low booster uptake here as well, because there are lots of persons who would have gone. They either got the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, or they got, 2 doses of AstraZeneca, 2 doses of Sinopharm. But the uptake in terms of the third shot, that has been pretty low. So much so that we had Pfizer vaccines here for the purpose of booster shots, and they expired
Oh dear.
because
dear.
persons weren't the people are
Yeah.
it's mostly the senior citizens, elderly people, or people who see themselves as being immune compromised that are taking up the booster shot, but most other persons aren't taking up the booster. And well, Darren, you and I, we've had several conversations about all of the propaganda and misinformation that has been inspiring people to not get vaccinated.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think though, well, at least my experience has been lately that they're somewhat muted. They're not as vociferous in their advocacy and stridency, shall I say, as was the case in the past, because
Well,
we
it
have
was
now over 61,000 persons who've been vaccinated, and people are not dropping down dead like flies, which is one of the predictions. We're doing
yeah.
quite fine. Many of us, when we get COVID, is no big deal. It's just like a cold or a flu, a mild flu. So I think they have been silenced by the effectiveness of a very safe and effective vaccine. At least
Well,
that's been my
I'll say
experience. In
I'll say this: they have gone.
Mhm.
They are, or rather, let me not say they have gone quiet. I will say that our news cycle focuses on them less now, right?
Mhm.
So I can't say
Right.
that they've
Okay, that's a
necessarily
good point.
had, Right. I can't necessarily say that they've gone quiet because they're probably still in their circles, still saying whatever it is they're saying, because, and I'm saying that based on the fact that our vaccination numbers have not gone up in any significant way since the shift in focus. But media is now, yes, a carnival was certainly something that would have taken up media attention, and, you know, the carnival events. And then after that would have been Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. And in the last 10 to 12 days, there has been a diving accident that would have taken up the attention of Trinidad and Tobago. And I am so glad that you guys have not been following that diving incident, because I really want to jump into that just yet.
Well, who
There's
said
a
we haven't been following it? I actually was going to ask you about it because I saw something that says some type of investigation is happening. So
Right. So an investigation, a commission of inquiry, because it was supposed to be an investigation. So let me backtrack for the sake of your audience, because maybe not everybody is doing like Cabana Jane here and following and following the issue. On the 25th of February, the afternoon, the evening of the 25th of February, 5 divers were working on a pipeline and fell into the pipeline, either fell into or was sucked into the pipeline. They ended up in the pipeline, and only one diver came out alive from that incident.
Wow.
The other 4 divers lost their lives, and they were eventually retrieved from the pipeline. So they disappeared on the Friday, the 25th, and they would have been retrieved from the pipeline the Monday, which would be the 28th of February, the Monday night, right? Now, that issue went from being tragic to being also heavily politicized. And so, one, there was supposed to be an investigation. There was going to be an investigative team pulled together to investigate it. The opposition here objected to one member of the investigative team. And so now the government has scrapped that investigative team. The police is still doing its investigation, as the police must. And now there's a commission of inquiry that has been launched into it. The head of the commission is a Queen's Counsel from Jamaica, and then there are 2 other specialists on the team. I don't remember their names immediately. They were announced. It was announced yesterday. And this commission of inquiry is going to be quite significant, and it's going to be significant because we don't have a recent or a young energy sector here. We've been in the energy industry for the better part of the 20th century and of course all of the 21st century thus far, right? And so you have the state's energy company. It was called Petrotrin before, then it was revamped in 2018, and it's now called Paria Fuel Limited. So Paria is the company that would have contracted another company to do maintenance on the line. And the guys who lost their lives, they were employees of that company. And there has been, in the last week, today is Friday, so Monday, either Monday or Tuesday, after the retrieval of the bodies, the company put out a press release basically blaming Paria, right, the energy company, for the accident.
Wow.
And then Paria, who had up until that point in time, they've been putting out press releases, but vague press releases in terms of information, right? So they weren't giving you a lot of details about the event. Paria then put out a press release that gave you more information about the event and raised a lot of questions about what exactly was the role and responsibility of the contracting company. So now it has become a public, okay, who's really responsible?
Finger pointed on each side.
Who's really ultimately responsible here?
Right.
And I don't want to go into too much more at this point. I will say this: once the commission of inquiry has begun and is underway and evidence and information starts coming out, I will be happy to have any sort of conversation with you all about it. Right now, the majority of information in the public domain has been information from the family of the persons who passed, as well as a couple comments from the one survivor, not very many comments, but some comments from the one survivor. And then of course, the information that would have been given out by PARIA in their press releases. And there have been a couple press conferences by the Minister of Energy. And each of the press releases, each of the press conferences, there's more information coming out at different times. And the more information that comes out, the more questions that are popping up in people's minds now.
That is usually the case. But before we go, because we're a little over time, we have to end our regional link up. Unfortunately, parting is such sweet sorrow. But Rhoda, I want you to let our listeners in St. Kitts and here in Antigua just tell us a little bit about News Source and where they can find you.
News Source is on Facebook. News Source is on YouTube. So you just look for NEW. Geez, on ages, people think that I'm illiterate. NEW
I did introduce you as a UE lecturer, so they know you are
right. Like, listen, it's all of that I was thinking about, Darren. I say, oh my goodness, these people are going to think that you are an illiterate person. So New Source, and sources in something that you pour on food. So NEWSAUCE, and it started as me just being idle on social media, going on doing lives, and then realizing, okay, there's a lot that I know and there's a lot that I am aware of, and there are lots of people that I can connect with to keep the population a little bit more informed. And so now I do 2 weekly lives on a Friday evening and a Sunday afternoon. And so it's live on Facebook on the Friday evening and Sunday afternoon. And once it's finished on Facebook and YouTube, once it's finished on Facebook, it backs up to YouTube. And that's where I am my full irreverent self, bringing a lot of facts, but also couched in a lot of bacchanal, because of course, that's how Trinidadians like to get their news, right? They like the sauce. They like the sauce. They like the sauce.
You packaged it perfectly. And
yes,
Rhoda,
I try to package it well.
Fantastic conversation. As always, you never disappoint, Rhoda. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The WhatsApps on the board and on my phone. People here love you. And the time I say Rhoda is coming, they get excited. Fantastic.
Oh,
and you did
I'm
not
so happy to hear that. So good morning to all of my fans up the region, and you all have yourselves a great day. Jade, check your bank account for the cabana money.
Listen, if I don't say it, I blaming you, eh?
Azam, she just sponsoring lunch today. She's sponsoring lunch for the month, right?
Okay,
Because
got you. Got you.
How you telling Azim how I gonna spend my supposed money?
Hey. Just roll.
We're throwing you under the cabana. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
We had a great time today, as expected. All right, that's the great Rhoda Barath.
Guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more Island Tea right here on With Media SKN. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island Tea, right here on Media SKN. It is Friday,
Indeed it is.
March 11th, and we just got to with our Cross Caribbean link up.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Jade, Trinidad plan a carnival in 2 weeks.
Vibes. Listen. Carnival world record right there, boy. 2 weeks?
The man doing it.
That's crazy.
The man doing it. Hugo said Trinidad broke the record. The
Clearly
carnival in 2
because
weeks. First time.
that is a bit. What?
Yeah,
What?
We got Trinidad one time. I was talking to a friend of mine who who provided some other
Insight?
things. Not well. Obviously, we know you provided the cabanas, but
Listen,
Some other-
stop
some
putting that
other-
out. Why y'all putting
some
this
other-
slander on the radio for me?
some other guys who did some other things.
Remember, lawyer letter going on and all. Better relax.
You ain't got enough money already, Jade?
No. You can always make more.
Could always make more. But yeah, so I asked him, I said, so when I heard about Carnival, he said, you want to put me on the radio? I said, okay, sell us. I said, sell us.
Tell us, boy. But, it's that time of the morning, Azim.
Tea time.
Yes, it is time for... Azim, we're going on with your stomach. Somebody feed Azim, please. Can't.
Jade, you're supposed to feed me today.
The money hit the account yet. The money, yeah. If you all hear how Azim belly here turning up, right? I could hear it. You see how far from my stomach? Jesus. Anyway, let's jump into some stories. As usual, new things happening.
That's
in
a pet
St.
peeve of
Kitts.
mine, eh?
What?
Like breakfast things. It's hard for me to find breakfast in the morning.
Your friends, there you go. They don't cater for people like you. So, me know what I'm gonna do. But, so, there was a release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, a release, Press and Public Relations Office.
Okay.
It says investigation launched into incident involving police officer. That's very vague. On Friday, March 4th, 2022, there was an incident in the Bastia area involving a police officer and civilians. Following the incident, several videos circulated on social media showing parts of what occurred. The High Command of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force understands that the images appear troubling to the members of the public. We too are deeply concerned by what we saw. We want to assure you, the public, that this matter will be looked into thoroughly as an investigation has already been launched. We are treating this matter with urgency and importance that it deserves.
You signed by anybody?
30.
You signed by 30?
30.
Hold on, wait.
And then it says, justice is rooted in confidence.
How did I
You can't
manage?
ask me.
How did I
Friend,
manage to get away with this, man?
I don't know.
Jade, what did they say, right? Almost a week after the incidents, does be like what other police forces that have to say literally 10 minutes after something happened.
Yes.
Or something happened somewhere in town. We saw some videos, we can investigate.
I don't understand. Why they wait a week later to put out this? You have
So
to
why
put
I
them
was-
in a WhatsApp broadcast. When them text
But not
message
only,
you could,
but,
you
but
don't
not
get?
only that, Jade, like why they have to be intentionally so vague? Especially if they say that videos went around.
Like we ain't see what happening. Pat. I know y'all only see Pat. Remember, don't forget the Pat.
Yeah, but Jade, what I'm saying is, like, there's no name. They can't even say where embarrassing happened. Like, just like somewhere embarrassing or
Why they
something happened.
literally said an incident between a police officer.
But
Okay.
literally, what they're saying is something happened somewhere between some people, and we're looking into it.
Basically. basically.
A week after it happened.
Because I can guarantee you, right? If people haven't seen this video, they have no idea what the police talking about.
Jade, it's
No idea.
how did I get away with this? Like that's what I keep
I don't
asking.
know, friend. I don't know. Press and Public Relations Officer. I could I keep this?
That's why nobody's saying it, Jade.
Oh,
You got press release, nobody putting a name to that there.
nothing.
Nobody can put a name to that there, Jade. Who can put a name to that? You just come from the office. Ain't nobody in the office. It's just the office.
I guess you just type yourself.
The office just put it out.
Automated messages. Love it.
Anyway. Nah, man.
Love
We
it.
said a week ago that this was gonna happen. So
Exact. I don't even know what you. This ain't shocking, friend.
it's not shocking. The problem is
It's just what normal behavior for the police force when they have incidents surrounding them. Listen, when somebody commit a crime, right? You just get a picture of the person, name, age, all kind of
Where they
story.
from?
But when an incident involving a police officer, you just get the vaguest of sentences. They honestly could have just skipped this.
that's my whole point. Why you even
I don't
release
even know
anything a
what
week later?
you post this on your page for. Listen, people thought this wasn't even real. They had to go check the official page for the St. Kitts Nevis
Jade,
police force. And I was shocked to see it.
when I saw that, I had to go back and look as well. I said, but I'm not jail, I'm back check. But let me back check too.
Just in case I miss it. Just think, No, you want the dear man, the dear friend, right on the page. Anywho.
And the other thing I went to check to see is when they posted. Jade, it wasn't a week ago.
No, they posted yesterday.
Yesterday.
I know, friend.
I said, oh, maybe we missed it.
We
No.
missed it, man. They just
You
posted
just
it
see the
yesterday.
press conference that sergeants or police
We don't get none of them
chiefs,
there.
like police chiefs that have to have
we don't get none of them there,
literally a half hour after something happened and have to answer questions from the press.
20 minutes later, there'll be full cameras, mic set up, podium, everybody, backdrop and all. But us, we just get some big police.
A week later.
Yeah, man. Well, so you go in this country. Anyway, police investigating death of 19-year-old Nivision. Nicholas Evans, a 19-year-old young man of Brooklyn, Nevis, was found hanging by the neck from a rope tied to a tree in the Brooklyn village area on March 8th. The district medical officer pronounced him dead at the scene and an autopsy has been scheduled. The police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the young man's death. Anyone who may have information regarding the incident is asked to contact the Newcastle Police Station at 469-9326 or the crime hotline at 707. You see how they had a full descriptive detail for this?
Who he was, where he was
Name,
found, what the
address, age
of the victim, Of the victim.
of the victim. Interesting.
But
Condolences to this young man and his family, man. Like, from the things that I was hearing, I don't know how true it is. It's a very sad situation.
I haven't heard anything, but what I can say, apart from just like deepest sympathies and condolences to the friends, family, and loved ones, is if this is a situation where someone felt the best decision they could make was to take their own life, then that's a huge if, because we don't know the details of the incident. It is unfortunate that we have people within our society who feel that way.
Trust me. And it is very common. This isn't like a one. I mean, if this is what happened, this wouldn't be a one-off situation where this person felt like this. Like, I think it was just last month or a month before we had another incident similar to this.
True.
Yes, remember the guy was yeah, we had another incident very similar to this one. It feels like people just are tired.
There's a heaviness. I think there's a heaviness surrounding a lot of people,
Yeah.
and people are getting to the point where when you start trying to figure out what can I do, a lot of times they don't have an answer and they try to escape whatever it is they're feeling, and,
Yep.
and that is a real unfortunate place for people to be in.
Yep.
And I think a lot of times we don't make, not even available, but sometimes we shun people for wanting and needing some type of help.
Which is unfortunate.
Yep.
Which
Yep,
is really
yep, yep.
unfortunate. I was listening to Ike yesterday, and he mentioned getting help for himself, and I was so proud to hear that, you know, he's using his platform to speak about these things, because it feels like when people try to do it, it's taboo. You know, people don't want to hear about mental health and trying to get help and going to see therapists and all of these things. A matter of fact, as soon as you tell somebody that you're seeing a therapist or you're talking to a counselor, they automatically think,
You're crazy.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, maybe I just want the same way I go to exercise and I take care of my body. Maybe I just want to take care of my brain. And I don't see why that's something taboo. Like, your brain is one of the big, if not the biggest muscle you have in your body. So if you could take the time to go to the gym 5 days a week and exercise and do all of these things and eat right, well, you can't take care of your mental health the same way.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, again, unfortunate situation. You know, we would have loved for this young man, because it's a young man. Like, that's the thing about bother me about these things, eh? 19, Jade.
19.
19. You understand? I'm coming. This is a young man.
Life hasn't even begun.
19 years of age, no longer here with us. And no matter what the circumstances surrounding his transition, that is sad. That is sad for this 19-year-old young man to not be here with us today.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're just hoping that whatever the circumstances surrounding this incident is, that we can somehow do something to prevent these kinds of things from happening even more, you know, in the future. But of course, as the police said in the press release, if you have information, please feel free to reach out
Please.
To them. I wonder why they didn't ask for anybody who have information about the other incident to reach out to. Anyway, let's move on.
No crime hotline attached to this press release?
Apparently not. They're doing all the investigation themselves. They need no help from nobody.
Well, you know.
They don't need no help from nobody, apparently.
Okay, well, yeah, I got it. So some Caribbean / international news. Russia includes Bivia and Anguilla on its unfriendly states. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Our Caribbean people was like, drink water, mind your business. Russia had something different for her, you know?
When I this was the first day, you said, no, we can't do that. We're supposed to be involved. No, we involved up there now. I just waited to see William, you know? Waited to see William by. If Russia ain't making a list of all of you, St. Vincent, St. Kitts, Bahamas, Barbados, Anguilla, Antigua, all again on the list, man. I think I get where? When Russia done with the Ukraine, all I got know.
Who next?
Yeah, man. He gonna just he gonna just stick off as he go. Anyway, the British Virgin Islands and Anguilla have been drawn into Russians' retaliation against the Western states, as they have both been included on a list of unfriendly countries. But you can't be country unfriendly, why? Just because we said no, you shouldn't do this.
Like, just randomly kill people.
Yeah, you shouldn't kill people. No, we unfriendly.
Yeah, we the unfriendly ones.
Right? The audacity, man. The unfriendly countries list was approved by the Kremlin on Monday, and they include United States, Canada, European Union states, the United Kingdom, including Jersey, Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, Gibraltar, Japan, South Korea, and Australia. The Kremlin accused these countries and territories of taking unfriendly actions against the Russian government, companies, and citizens following its invasion of the Ukraine on February 24th. The Russian news agency reported that the declaration means state agencies that have foreign exchange obligations to international creditors from the list of unfriendly countries will be able to pay them in rubles. The new temporary procedure applies to payment exceeding 10 million rubles per month, or a similar amount in foreign currency. The BVI, in condemning Russia's war on Ukraine, announced that it will be combing through its lucrative offshore banking sectors to find assets belonging to Russians who are on UK sanctions list. Where any request for international cooperation is received, we also stand ready to execute these, such as we're sharing of beneficial ownership information with overseas law enforcement can be facilitated in a little as 1 hour, if requested under the exchange of notes with the United Kingdom government, the BI government said in a statement on March 1st. It's unclear how the declaration will affect Bermuda, Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands, and Montserrat, since they must also apply sanctions on Russia that were announced by the UK. Dominica, Antigua, and Barbuda have also taken action against Russian elites by pausing their application in the Citizen by Investment. A number of ships belonging to Russian oligarchs, that's how you pronounce that? Oligarchs, okay, who are close friends and allies to President Vladimir Putin, own ships that are registered in Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. The U.S. government has hinted that it will soon track down and seize assets belonging to these individuals it accused of facilitating the Russian government's illegal activities.
They're attacking the oligarchs by, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they feel like that is a way to really get at Putin.
Especially since they have the funds.
Oligarch money different, yeah.
I know. I know, friend.
I talked to a woman some years ago. The woman tell me, oh, I bought my yacht. I just liquidated a few diamonds.
I feel she just.
Just had some loose diamonds hanging around.
Just chilling.
And just then went and buy a multi-million-dollar yacht.
Well.
Lucian, make up yourself by. Let's sun up the soil but in Anguilla right now. And he's saying Anguilla will certainly be a part as we are British dependent territory. Yes, and that's what I was saying over like Montserrat and a few of the other islands as well.
Whatever going on with UK, going on with all you.
Yeah.
So y'all better know if Russia decide this thing getting serious and they're coming for you. I gotta go fight. I gotta go.
But they ain't going nowhere. Take this World War II now. You think they're going to build another cenotaph? But they build.
They might not got a choice. They will listen, friend.
Jed.
If the monarchy decide we going to war, is we going to war? What are you going to say, no?
Okay.
Please don't call us, because we ain't going. I
Jed,
can tell you for sure we ain't going.
I'm telling you, it ain't going to work how we used to work. Not now, yeah. Not now.
The man are going to be like, oh.
The Mangwillians are just run up in the hills and they ain't got no hill.
Stop.
They
got a hill, but they're finding some to hide in.
They're finding some, I'll tell you.
But I wasn't going to do this, so I can't mix with all you.
Watch. The idea of, like, the Commonwealth and all these things like that were used to be there, like, back in the 40s, right? Mm-hmm. The 30s, the early 19th century and so. But people ain't studying, nobody's studying that there right now, boy.
I know I won't. Listen, I watch.
Fight war?
Who war? A war that may start had nothing to do with? You must be crazy. I literally watching stories of soldiers going AWOL to go fight war. Them there got to be on a different type of time, you know.
Yeah, them ain't the ones that just think, you know. Them ain't the ones that I can't understand. What I can't understand is like the Americans, like them fellows who born in like Mississippi and so, who get up and go join Al Qaeda.
Like what? Too much internet.
It's so difficult for them to even get there.
Like, I tell you, it's too much internet. As in, when you see people who are radicalized, you know how ridiculous it sounds for you to sit down on the internet and be radicalized. So much so that you're willing to go blow up yourself for a country that you ain't got nothing to do with.
It ain't really that, Jade. Like,
what ain't really that?
It ain't really that. Like, people, I think a lot of times they're people with a strong sense of justice, Jane. Right?
Okay.
With a strong sense of justice. And like, it kind of hard for you to not see the arguments of some of these people who are less militarily advanced. All they're really seeking for is like religious freedom, live on the other side of the world, ain't call nobody for no help. And then here's this imperial power going over there. Oh, we come to help and we just come apart.
But that's what I understand, you know, like, yes, the war in Russia is terrible, eh? It's wrong, it's terrible, all of these things. But the powers that be that are condemning them, they're doing the same thing, eh? They're doing the same thing regularly, and everybody just like, you know, that different. How? Explain to me how.
Less bombs.
Really?
That is the argument some people make.
Or is less bombs?
That's the argument some people make.
So because you're using less bombs, you ain't killing as many people? Because what you're telling me?
Jade, I tell you, right, imperialism changed from when it was like back in the 1400s and 1500s and so on. Where the Mongol army would come over and you got to start speaking whatever the Mongol language be and start like worshipping the gods and stuff. No. But no, them man just telling you, no problem. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build a base here. We got to approve anybody that running in y'all government. But y'all could keep y'all songs and like
Yeah, man,
your
y'all
language.
sing and
You don't even have
dance
to talk
and
English.
culture.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, but the most important things we're going to hold on to.
Yeah, we're going to take care of the natural resources for y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
And so companies from our homeland is who gonna run those industries. Of course we're gonna build a military base here.
I mean, anything else would be uncivilized.
Yeah, so yeah.
I know. That's crazy. I don't know how. What? I think I'm missing out on a big walk.
I might go reach down there by.
What that there be? Anguilla?
Yeah, Anguilla Moon Splash, the festival in Anguilla. Down at the Dune.
When that is?
Probably happening just now.
I want
This is
to
what match, right?
Somebody flame me up for eyes wide shut, no? I want to go.
Eyes wide shut. That's done carnival time. Itana, sorry, Freddie McGregor.
That's what I got good shot.
Hey, big up Banky one time, man. Banky still make things happen. That's one thing. he's definitely a unique character.
He is. I tell you, we need to interview him, you know.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to interview Banky.
Everybody with Banky in the name, you're afraid.
You never, exactly. If you got Banky in your name, I'm afraid you. Can't disrespect the talent. Can't disrespect the talent.
That is crazy.
Watch it, right? The man ain't just got Banky in there, the man got crucial. So imagine a crucial Banky.
I don't know. The man is a article. It's article that I said it. What do you say about him?
Article.
Okay. What article mean?
Who knows, Jane? Who knows? Like, there's a lot of words Rasta said that I don't understand. Me lock saying along yet.
I need a Rasta man to meet me on the road and just explain to me what article mean.
Somebody calling just now.
I said that mean they following instructions.
Oh, meet you on the road.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where you want to go next? You want to talk about more Russia stuff, or you want to talk about how when you can't even be rich and withdraw money out your account?
Bye. I don't even know. Let's talk about Russia since we're in Russia right now.
Okay, let me see. Which one of these Russian things you want to talk about? So we could talk about Finland most joining NATO after Russian war. Finland watching things like.
Let's go now, buddy. Well, let's go now. Let's easy now.
Before they decide they're going to pull this on me and me gonna help. NATO helping Russia yet? Like that really helping in the way they're supposed to? Okay, me just ask, cause me feel like
I tell you before this thing start that one of the problems is that NATO exists here. NATO by its existence creating drama here.
Yeah, I know. Before we
People
move
get
on,
vexed with me when I say so, but
they shouldn't. I need your opinion, and you're not wrong. So you know. Anyway, I have to send a special good morning to my auntie Cindy,
let me hear you.
who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she came all the way from St. Thomas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
When you want me?
I hope it's St. Thomas, you know. I hope me wrong.
Auntie Cindy, good morning.
She's over in Nevis, chilling out, you know, enjoying the scenery and listening to us.
You want me to give you another shout out?
Go ahead.
Today's mommy's birthday.
You're lying.
Yeah,
Happy
that's my-
birthday, moms. Azim shall give you a hug for me
Mommy,
and carry you out to eat at your favorite restaurant.
Jade, you the one with the money, Jade.
Yeah, I tell you, hit the account. Yeah,
Okay,
hit the account.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
But yes, as they will treat you like the queen that you are today.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, mommy. Yeah.
I bet it's a Rasta man trying to explain what article means.
Oh, I bet you. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T.
Hey, good morning to you. To you both. How are you doing today?
We're fine. We're fine. How are you?
I'm larger than you
Okay.
in terms of the size of the grain. You say you're fine, right? Well, I'm not that fine.
That's a good one.
Okay, all right. So I hope all is well for real. Now you're talking about this Russia thing, right? A few days ago, I heard a news item they're talking about we sanction Russia. And I am here saying, Lord, I wonder, I don't know if you all have dealt with it because I don't really get the time to really tune in the way I used to and so on. So I don't know if you have dealt with this previously, but, you know, on the backdrop of it this morning, I just tuned in and I heard you all speaking about it. We sanction Russia, and I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, what is really going on? What is really going on? Because I think with something like that, shouldn't the citizens be consulted? You don't think so?
Should we be consulted in them Russia?
Yes, before.
What else does consult us in?
Sorry?
When do they consult us?
You're right, but I mean, with a decision like this. With a decision like this, because...
To be honest, I don't think it would have made a difference because half the people wasn't even going to know or understand what that means in its totality.
Yeah, but if they want the people to know, then they would know. But I mean, the statement that you made there, it is right. From when do they consult us in when it comes to decisions like these, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, suppose this comes to turn into a full-blown war, then what does that mean for us?
What you say? What you say? When it turns into a full-blown war?
If? Suppose.
So what do you think it is right now?
A full-blown war?
Yeah, in a war?
Is
That's
NATO
not what's happening.
involved as yet?
Sorry?
Is NATO involved as yet?
NATO been involved in the capacity as they said they're sending
No,
aid
not behind the scenes stuff, not that. But I mean directly involved. They have gotten involved yet because I'm not following right now, you know, to tell you the truth.
So you think it's only a full-blown war if more than just the two countries are involved? That's what you mean?
Yeah, I don't see that as really a war between just the two of them. It becomes a war when others are involved.
No, that's how I work, man.
Okay, but we're talking semantics now.
If you want to look at it as a war between the two of them, fine. You know, because fighting bloodshed is involved. But I am talking about war on the broader scale when others are involved. And by the time NATO gets involved,
you're referring to them physically fighting in the war because they are involved. A lot of countries are involved. What do you think these sanctions are? And seizing of assets and all of that. That's them being involved.
They are involved. Yes, they are involved. But I was more looking at it from the physical point of it. The weaponry, let me say the military might, not economic most.
But they've been sending weapons to Ukraine.
We're just talking semantics now. So you were saying in terms of more people getting involved.
But remember, it is confined to those two mainly. It is a war, yes, that is fought between two countries, but I'm mostly looking at it on an international scene, so to speak, where more countries will get involved physically with weapons, whether they send them or they send the airplanes, as the case may be. So up to this point, I don't think we can say that it is a full-scale, outright war, so to speak. But we can look at it. We can look at it and see the different types of involvement. Because I mean, today they don't have to have men on the ground as whatsoever. Because you have technology, a lot can be done there and so on too. But what I'm really saying, I'm wondering if our politicians in this region, they couldn't abstain, keep out, because our voices makes no difference on that kind of stage. So why are they going to bring up Africa? Why are they going to bring up the Caribbean inside of this? In this, huh?
I mean,
No.
like I said, I hold a different view, and I've explained several times why I do. And we can't. And the truth is, the actions happening there are already affecting us. But I do believe that, especially as countries who do not have the type of military might that some of these countries have, when we see aggression, at least seemingly unprovoked aggression by some countries, we have a right to speak out. Now, in terms of the sanctions, you know what the sanctions were?
That they slap on Russia.
Yeah, like our response to Russia, you know what they were?
No, because like I said, I haven't kept abreast.
So what, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, I think that what is happening is that we have just aligned with most of the other international community in terms of pausing the applications from Russians, especially those on the sanction list, for our citizenship by investment program. So is it that you don't think we should have done that? Do you think we should have kept accepting applications from the Russians during this time?
When I heard about sanctions, I thought it has to do with the other economic sanctions that America put on Russia. Because when I heard the news information, I did not hear that part. Well, this one, it is different. If, like I have said, I am not in agreement personally with the sale of our citizenship. I have said that prior to the 2015 election, way back. I said it after, and I still maintain my stand. So in terms of that, really, I'm not going to say yes or no, because I am dead out against that, because I see what this is going to lead to in the future.
Okay, so
Right?
that's kind of my thing. My kind of thing is that
economic sanctions.
yes,
I thought
yeah.
that is where we went.
No.
Okay?
We pausing. Yeah, we just pausing applications to our CBI program. That was the announcement.
Okay, well, the news people, and they need to get this stuff straight. Then, you know, I mean, the way that they put over the, oh my goodness.
I got you.
Right?
I
But
got you.
I really, it's how they put it over, and it's what they said. So it seemed like they joined with NATO, because I think they said the CARICOM, you know. So you know, it seemed like it's the whole of the Caribbean.
But they put out a statement condemning the actions, right? So
Condemning the actions of whom?
Of Russia.
Why Russia and not NATO?
Well, I guess in this particular
You
case.
see what I mean?
No, but I'm saying, I guess
The instigator here, I guess they have to go back to the history.
is NATO.
Instigator here is not Russia.
Okay.
The
Well-
problem here is not Russia, because if anybody is going to try to go and take a state from one of those United States of America, you think the seat of government there, where is it, in Washington, D.C., you think they're going to sit down and allow anybody to come and try to annex a state, try to get one of the states away from them? This thing with NATO advancing in some of these European territories and whatsoever, and they broke the agreement with Russia. Because
Hey, Russia isn't at fault for trying to invade the Ukraine?
Hello?
You're saying Russia isn't at fault for trying to invade the Ukraine?
Saying that Russia is not at fault
For invading the Ukraine.
the Ukraine?
Militarily.
I don't know if I should put it like that.
So how would you put it?
They're responding to NATO.
Just like what I said, you think the seat of government in America is going to sit back and allow
I'm not
anybody
talking
to
about
advance in
America.
its
I'm talking
backyard?
about Russia and Ukraine solely. Do you think Russia is at fault for invading Ukraine?
If I think Russia is at fault for
bearing in mind,
invading Ukraine,
also bearing in mind, bearing in
I'm
mind,
not going to send.
bearing in mind, before you continue, bearing in mind that Ukraine is also not a member of NATO.
Do you understand the history surrounding this NATO and the Warsaw Pact?
We're taking NATO out of the equation and just asking simply.
NATO has to be involved.
But
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I don't think, what they call it, Ukraine, I don't think Ukraine was a full-fledged member of NATO.
there wasn't even a half.
That's why we're asking you if you think Russia is at fault for invading the Ukraine.
She said no.
You
So
have
who's at
to,
fault?
no, I'm not going to say no or yes.
So who?
What I am saying, you have to go back to the agreements that were made and the advancement that NATO is making in Europe. This has to go way back, you know.
Okay.
I
So
am
Okay,
not
well,
going to
so-
sit
but
here
sorry,
and
not
I'm
to
not
cut
going
you
to
off, but we
say
have
that
to
they
go.
were right or they were wrong. It's unfortunate. I cannot come out and say no, and I cannot come out and say yes. Because I have to look at this from a balanced view. Okay?
yeah,
Just-
what
that
I
is
would
why I'm saying,
suggest,
do you
what I would
think
suggest.
America would sit back. Any one of those other countries, Western countries, would sit back and
What-
see, let's say, Russia or China or somebody advancing close to their door.
Yeah, what I
It's
would
not going to
suggest,
happen.
what I would suggest though is, based on what you're saying, perhaps Russia should have then invaded a NATO country instead of a sovereign one that was not a member. Based on what you're saying, but we have to go. So thank you so much for your
Yes, but-
contribution.
But of was coming to being a member of
Okay,
NATO.
but they weren't.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Well then. Well then.
Yeah, but people can have different views, Jade. People can have
I
different
mean,
views.
obviously.
Yeah, people can have different
Obviously,
views.
friend.
I mean, my thing is always just, you know, it's unfortunate all around, and the most unfortunate thing is that the people them that really that end up suffering is the people who ain't got nothing to do with this.
Literally.
The people them who ain't got nothing to people just there trying to eat their what do they eat in Ukraine?
I don't know about it. You can't ask me that. I never thought that, and I never had a hunger for no time of Ukrainian food. So I
don't think they're known for food because I've never seen a Ukrainian restaurant. I've seen Greek.
Yeah. That was a
I've
wild.
seen Czech.
That was a wild take. That was a wild take to have, boy.
Nah, but hey.
Yeah.
Well, Jade, it is Friday, and usually on Friday we have conversations with you know, someone involved in, you know, entertainment
Yes,
and
we do.
music and stuff like that. And today is no exception. We're gonna take a small break and come back and have a cool conversation with a very cool guy.
Yes, we will. So stick and stay to more Ireland Tea right here on with Media SKN. We'll be right back.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. And I lime it at the beach on the town. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Welcome back to Win Media SKN for Island Tea, right on this beautiful Friday.
Yes, indeed.
And on Friday, like I was saying earlier, you know, sometimes we have some guests coming in and joining us for some cool conversation. And today is no exception. We have today in studio with us a man that has been around music for quite some time, doing all kind of things, whether it's mixing, mastering, producing, recording, and of course being an artist himself.
He's a busy man.
Man, all kind of things going on. We have in studio with us Silky the General. Silky, what going on, boss?
I'm good as him, Jade, and a pleasant morning to everybody listening.
Well, Silky, it is really a pleasure to have you in studio with us this morning. I think you are one of the figures in St. Kitts music that a lot of times people sometimes underestimate the contribution, you know, of some persons, like especially some of us have been around for a long time and maybe work a lot behind the scenes. But for people listening who don't know who Silky the General is, tell us a bit about what you do and you know, your career.
Well, personally, you know, my current name is Javier Hutton.
For sure, may know that
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I remember you taught me in high school.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
You taught him?
Yeah, you taught me in high school.
All bad it up.
Yeah.
You know, my singing name is Silky the General. You know, I currently am the founder and owner of NASA Records, and I do mixing and mastering. You know, I do a little producing as well, and I do a little artistry still. Basically, I search for like new talent and stuff, like, you know, to do work with them and stuff. I love working with new talent, and basically in my spare time, you know, I do play a little sport now and again. Also, you know, I sell sandwiches as well too.
What? How kind of things going on with this man?
There's a little sandwich you hear me saying as him in here starving.
Sold out early. Sorry, next time. So yeah, basically in a nutshell, you know, I just, you know, on the hustle still, as him, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, for sure. You did say that you started your label, NASA Records, and just for persons who might not know the type of artists who you would have worked with, tell us a bit about some of the artists that would have passed through NASA Records.
Well, plenty artists have passed through, such as a Footsie, Dejua, Infamous, Rucas. I did work with Colin Wyatt, Ivy, Ease Out, myself, and a couple of underground artists as EJ the DJ, Shaki. Well, Shaki not the underground artist, but Shaki, Sugar Bowl, Sensio, Pinocchio, and then the list goes on.
Yeah,
So me, you don't work with everybody.
Basically, that's what you're trying to say.
Oh, and Boy Maseo. I did work with Boy Maseo as well too.
Yeah.
And Jedos.
For sure.
Anybody else?
No.
Everybody. Yeah, the man. He basically trying to say everybody.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
But let's talk a bit about you and where you got your start in music. I don't know if you have a musician background, but I know for sure for some time now you've been involved in recording. But exactly when did this start for you, and how did you get involved?
Well, Bailey, it started in 2007. Just before I finished with high school, I used to do me like little recording, but it wasn't not much. And I was saying I had a laptop and computer headphones. I used to actually record in my yard, outside in my area, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Until I elevate, started to like get professional and stuff. We had a music group called MHE, Musical Entertainment. It was me and Footsie started musical hype entertainment, and then we elevate as a musical group. Started Cheap and Cheap Music, and then we started to elevate. We did a big project called Evo Walk Rhythm with Range, DJ Range. That's one DJ Range project, and that's when we get big. spark, from the Eva Watt medley. And then after that was, straight to the sky still.
Yeah. I mean, and this is now 2022, so you're almost going for 15 years in this thing.
Yes, correct.
Easy, so. And the man look like he was 16. I mean,
That's right, boy, listen. The man got the popular youth in the backyard, yeah?
But, I mean, one of the things you mentioned, and this is something that I can attest to, is the opportunity you tend to give to new artists.
Yes, correct.
A lot of times, the first time I hear about an artist is on either the record by NASA Records or there's a rhythm that you guys put out. Where that came from, this thing where it's almost like you want to find the people who nobody else know about.
Well, Bailey, I was once in that position, and I'm saying that I was hoping like somebody could actually give me a play as well too. So I just go up in that position saying, by somebody else might want the chance to, I'm saying, to be able to make money from the music or express the talent to saying kids or even the regional countries or even worldwide. I'm saying, so basically I just especially when you have talent, you don't need to waste your talent. Because God give you a talent and you need to be used.
Yeah, but like I understand it's really about giving an opportunity with you. Like and again, this is for me just looking out from the outside.
Yes, correct.
It's just I just give opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
Yes, correct. That's a start. Yeah.
Yeah, that's start for sure. But what is it that you look for, like as somebody who, just everybody who say I want to sing, I believe you recognize, but this is somebody that
have potential
and not only that, like you got to understand that your time is valuable.
Yes, correct.
A lot of times as these artists when they start out, they don't really have the funds that really make that they really need to have to get the level of production that you guys provide and things like that. So I know there's always these conversations going on and stuff like that. So what is it that you look for when you're deciding on who to really put the NASA stamp behind?
Well, I just said, Bailey, time is money, but it don't always be about the money. You know what I'm saying? You have a couple artists that came to me and asked for the opportunity and stuff, and I work with them free of cost. You know what I'm saying? And some of them will be like, okay, then Silky, I made this for my music, I made this from performing. Here a little help. You know what I'm saying, to help pay for like the either studio equipment or electricity. Right. But I don't really look for much start, to just help them get off the ground still and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty admirable because a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people wouldn't look at somebody who is just trying to build a career and give them a chance to do anything.
That's true, correct.
Yeah, but what is it that you look for? Like when because there's a lot of people out there right now who said they're singer.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people out there that said they're
say it so.
No, it's true. Like a lot of people.
He's correct. Well, I look for like the unique style, like in like the vocal wise, great singers and so like actually have that singing talent, and want to use that talent, So I just like groom them and help them, I'm saying, in such avenue, and cause I really like to see good talent, Bailey, I'm saying, like especially female vocals, I'm saying, you have a lot of females out there, do have the talent, but afraid to use it, I'm saying shy. We have a lot of male artists, less female.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm saying?
That's true. That's one of the areas where I feel we really dropping short.
Correct.
And it's not for the lack of talent, like you're saying. It's just sometimes, maybe they need a push or the opportunity.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just intimidating getting into what is obviously a male-dominated
industry. Because I'm going to tell you, a male more outgoing when it comes to singing, the more like a bravery, you know what I'm saying? A female gonna be more like laid back to us, but I fear the crowd and
limelight and all of that.
So I don't actually feel like they don't sound good. But from my standpoint, nobody like to hear the singing. And I'm saying other people might like it and say, but yeah, she have a unique voice. But you might say, but I may think so. You know what I'm saying, as a female.
I mean, you keep bringing up that term unique. And I think that is so important when we start talking about artistry, being able to set yourself apart whether it is how you present your lyrics, whether it is your voice,
Correct.
whether it is the energy that you put into the performances. I really hope that more and more artists, you know, start to find their own unique
Style
voice and style to
Correct.
set themselves apart.
Correct,
That's
correct.
really what, and it really is coming from a man who purposefully looking to give opportunity to the artist. That's something that he's looking for.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're somebody who really thinking about, hey, making this step, recognize the key isn't to sound like whatever was hitting last week.
Or everybody else.
Or
Yeah.
everybody else.
Some people will hear your music and say, "But you sound like Cartel, you sound like Massacre." You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be hearing that. I like people to be like, you know, but this just sound like Silky. This just sound like Footsie. That's
Right.
Highlight. That's Infamous, etc. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you sound like this artist out there, sound like the artist out there. You know?
And the funny thing about it, right? You see them names I just called. Each of them got a totally unique
They ain't so like
style, you know.
not a soul on this earth.
You
Not a
understand?
soul. Like you could hear a song and automatically go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
what
they actually say about
that's Highlight. That's an Infamous song.
Correct.
That's a boy one song.
And you know, I would like people to say, okay then, when they hear a track out in the world, they will say, okay then, but this is a track from Saying Kids. You know what I'm saying? That this is a song from Jamaica, this is a song from Barbados, you know, Trinidad. You know, I like them to say, this is a song from Saying Kids, a product of Saying Kids. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. But I mean, you talked about you know, you start in terms of being an artist and actually being in front of the mic instead of behind the laptop. And what are some of the songs over the years that you really got a good response from?
Well, the Evil Walk with Him, that's Oh Mama Don't Worry. A track I did with Haley J, Keep It Coming. And he had a track that I did on the Redemption with him. It was a money song, Gotta Get This Money.
Yeah.
And then now, again, a good way from this previous song I just released with me, an article called Get Up Here.
Okay. We just had a conversation here trying to figure out what article actually means.
What is that? Thank you. What does article mean?
Me personally, I cannot say. He'll be explain that what I'm saying.
The thing about it is, right, I would use the word, you know.
But I have no idea what I mean.
But yeah, you released a song just recently, and I must say that yes, I've been hearing it buzzing around.
I swear I heard it up to just yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. But we're talking about it. Let's take a listen to part of the song. For those of you listening, you know what? I can introduce it like Silky can. So Silky, introduce this song for the people.
Well, this is a ghetto song for the ghetto people. Them, even though you're not a ghetto person, you still can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Guys, for like the dark-hearted people, you know, people who deal with abuse and them kind of stuff. People try to hurt you personally, you know what I'm saying? So this is one called Get Up Here from me, from Silky the General and Article.
It's lifestyle, baby.
Alright, sir. Yo, the General. What me say? Hear me now.
Money we a go for. In a life is a bad mind offer. No for them nah see we suffer. Tell them judge provide we supper. Them want see we feel. Chop a jail and me can't get bail. But me alone just a hold my feet. Lex them we no easy fi be a. Don't let them hurt me. Father God I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real. Got me on this journey. Don't let them hurt me. Father God I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real. Got me on this journey.
Hey Silky, enough of them no want you make it in the life, cause them no want you wait to the top just before them. Them a bad mind, them a keep score them. When the money me I look up your feelings, them a carry. When you try for this the river, now you make me keep a tally. Them a wonder how me manage, no for them I say them sorry. Me thank you Father God, so me no end up dead body. We know for them a malice, me a pray for the
Don't
carry.
let them hurt me. Father God I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real. Got me on this journey. Don't let them hurt me. Father God I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real. Got me on this journey.
Father God protect the son when them a come, them a snake in the grass, I wait for me don't fall. Don't see them one bond, they bridge to me progress, me focus relentlessly, kill them with success, and there is no time. Me got grudge on me mind, family doing fine, everything intertwined, me just a chill on the river and I build beer vine. And them a try stop the food, man, I live up in a life.
Don't let them hurt me. Father God, I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real, got me on this journey. Don't let them hurt me. Father God, I'm worthy. Bad mind them real, hypocrites them real, got me on this journey. Money we a go for. In a life we say bad mind no for. No for them nah see we suffer. Tell them judge provide we supper. They want see we feel. Chop a jail and me can't get beer. But me alone just a hold my feet. Lex them we no easy.
Wow, Silky. It's another one.
To believe it.
It's another one.
Big up.
Yeah, man, for sure. And the name really speak to what the song is. It really is a prayer.
Yes.
It really is a prayer. And I think there's a lot of people who have that sentiment. I used to be one of them people who used to be like, but they talking about this bad mind thing. And bad mind.
And then hit you, eh?
But it's a serious thing, it's a real thing.
Real thing.
Country
Trust
vibe.
me.
Big problem in the country.
And I tell you this, Bailey, I'm growing up in the music business saying kids, you rough, eh?
Yeah.
Trust me, real rough. It's a fight, my boy, you know what I'm saying? It's a real fight. So you gotta fight the good fight still.
Speak a bit about that now. Speak a bit about some of the challenges that you personally would have had to deal with.
Well, me personally, I would say, I've been salt. Real salt. In terms of like every time, you know? I got, like, especially with my computer, Bailey. You know,
yeah, that's true.
And then how about cheek up?
The bang of the worst. The bang of the worst.
He was that me?
Yeah.
He was, okay. And if you was than me, that's saying something, eh?
The bang of the worst luck with computer and equipment.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to buy somebody trying to fight me by not, you know, not to begin the work, none of these kind of things. You know, I had cheap computer. You know what I'm saying? And computer is very expensive, Bailey.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, don't ever talk about monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Current again stays mashing up my money.
So you're saying the electricity department reparations?
Well, that's what happened the last time, that destroyed my speakers I had last time.
Gavin, I hope you're listening.
I just got back up my studio, you know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to go again in full effect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in terms of that, like, getting like music push and so here is a fight. You got to go all out to get your music around. You know what I'm saying? So this is a plus for me, Azim and Jade, you know what I'm saying, to be having me here doing this interview. Is a major plus for me.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I appreciate you for just taking time and coming and hanging out with us as well.
Yeah, man.
You
I
know
appreciate it.
Like,
thanks.
You've been doing this thing for so many years. I mean, I hear people say they're doing things for a while. But the man directed you 2007.
Yeah. No, when he said a while, like I could vividly remember being at shoots with Capo.
Correct.
When Capo first started making music videos. And that's when y'all first started making music, right?
Yes.
So I know it's been years upon years.
Yeah, man, and I gotta send a shout out to Capo too as well, because he played a major part in our music career for a lot of artists. Trust me.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
What I'm saying? So I gotta shout him out one day. Big up yourself, Capo, anyway there.
Yeah. But, I mean, dating back to the song, like, just tell us a bit about, you know, the
inspiration.
The inspiration behind it.
Well, I mean, bad mind is all around, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
I hope any particular girl was walking up behind you.
No, it sound like a girl song. It sound like a girl song.
No. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see, Bailey trying to beat me up, you know what I'm saying? But me not easy to beat. You know, Bailey, so. Yeah, man, well, actually, the beat was made by Lex Dem production out of Jamaica. Big up Lex Dem totally. And I'm saying, one day, you know, he sent me the beat. He said, I was in a chat group with some Jamaican producers. And he was one saying, I did a chat named Shake It. And that's a big chat for me too as well. Shake It, featuring Dejo, Keith, and RJ. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, he heard the track and he said, wow, this track is decent. And he asked me where I'm from. He thought it was from Trinidad, but I told him, no, I'm from St. Kitts and Nevis. So he said, well, you know, he sent me the beat. He said, I have a beat here for you, and he would like me to be on it as well, because it's a project he was working on. So he sent me the beat, and I started to voice the beat, and, you know, I said, but, you know, it's a well made on a track. And I said, for the bad mind people, and over the years, been getting a lot of fight, Bailey. And I'm saying, so I started to vibe the beat, and, you know, the first thing that came to mind, you know, don't let them hurt me. And I'm saying, Father God, I'm worthy. I've been so good to a lot of people, but in return, all I guess I want to call over, not on radio still. The bad part of the stick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I said, by a long time, I wanted to do a check with article. And the article is like one of the sinkest legend in the music. So, I hit,
one time.
yeah, Riverside, big up yourself. You know, so I hit him up and I said, article, I have a track I would like to, get a feature and stuff. So he said, well, send me, no problem, So I send the track and like in a matter of 3 days, he finished his verse and he sent me them and then I sent them to MVP Records, that's Highlight, to get them mixed and mastered. You know what I'm saying? So bigger MVP Records.
Nice. Well, I mean, we're getting reviews on the live. People saying that they're liking the song, that the song sounds good. So people definitely feeling what you guys were feeling from the song.
Big up, and enough love, enough respect.
Yeah, and from what you're saying, this song is going to be a part of a bigger project?
Well, yes, we have other artists on the video, but the artist them is from Jamaica.
Yeah.
We are the only local artists on it. He called the Shooting Stars with him.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is a good look. Hopefully, it really opens up, the type of persons and the demographic that would have been able to hear the song. The fact that, the songs from other countries on the same rhythm. So, that really kind of puts you in a place where, other people might hear the song.
Correct. And I give thanks for that. I'm very grateful for that. Lex them. And I'm saying because considering us here in St. to be like a part of the project still.
Yeah. So somebody else is saying keep doing what you're doing, Silky. Stays in the background a lot, but the work he does can't be missed at all. Tell him church still waiting for him to produce something for them. This is from Mr. Hype himself.
Okay. Big up, enough respect. Yeah, man. I'm going to keep pushing him. Thanks.
Well, I mean, of course, we're waiting to really just see exactly just how far this song goes because it's such a great song. But I can't help but ask, what do you have on the horizon for us?
Well, currently I'm working on a project with Roland and New Rhythm. Try to get some artists together to feature on that project. The rhythm is called Ukraine Rhythm. And I'm saying, if you feel like you got the talent, you could hit me up. And I'm saying, and see if you could bring a big song on the rhythm.
Speaking of hitting you up.
Sounds like vibes. But tell the people where they could follow your journey, where they could see you and reach you and all of these good things.
You could reach me on Facebook, Silky the General, Instagram, Silky the General, TikTok, Silky the General. You can hit me up on WhatsApp, 668-8899.
So guys, if you want to jump on this project or you just want to do some musical things with Silky, you know where to find him now. But Silky, unfortunately, time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It runs us down very quickly.
Wow.
Yeah, we all gotta go.
Yeah.
But Silky, I mean, just want to really give you your flowers now. You know what I mean? I don't, you've really been somebody who, for the last decade, really just been putting in a lot of work in the music. I've been seeing the struggles. Yeah. So when you talk about struggles, I know what it is you've been dealing with. And you've pursued and persevered all through that, man. So give you your flowers.
Definitely deserve
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
Big up NASA Records, big up 313.
Yeah,
and I'm saying MVP Records too.
MVP Records. Hey, actually, we're waiting on Highlight.
I just about to say, as in please call, find Highlight, whatever he be.
I see Highlight there, like he mixing something. I hoping it's his song. Now I realize he might have been this song he mixing.
Yeah, man, he got a lot in the pipeline still. A lot of surprises still to come. And
but he's just a hard man to pin down, man.
But even for me, trust me.
Man, big up yourself anyway there, man.
Yeah, man.
But Silky, again, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us this morning and just wishing you all the best in your endeavors moving forward, man.
Man, Azim, it's a pleasure and thanks for having me as well.
For sure.
I appreciate it.
Well, guys, unfortunately, that has been the end of the show today. We're going to have to leave. We got to go. We got to disembark.
Indeed we do.
So, guys, it's Friday. Of course, as always, please be safe out there. Deal with people with grace. and love.
Yes, please.
Take some time for yourself this weekend if possible, man.
Yeah, even if it's just an hour, just unwind, put on the phone, just relax, be with yourself.
Actually, let me tell you something. Let me give you a little pro tip here. Listen to Uncle Royal a little bit. Go on YouTube. When you're feeling overwhelmed, type in guided meditation. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, man.
Guided meditation, guys.
Work on the mentals. Work on the mentals, just like y'all work on the physicals.
Yeah, and just really take some time for yourself. And yeah, just make sure you're healthy all around.
Indeed.
But guys, like Jade has been saying, we gotta go. We gotta leave. For those of you who check, wait, you have something else, Jade?
I was just about to do my usual Friday shout out. Tell
Shout
them
them
what's
out.
happening on the station.
What's going on?
So when we leave, good girl Sandra is up next with Your View. Then later we have Voices hosted by Devon,
Mr. Cornelius.
Always spicy when he's on.
Big up the Cornelius one time.
Bye, listen. Later, in the afternoon is full of vibes, music all around from DJ Flames to Jet Sounds, and ended it off will be DJ Rebecca himself. Packed Friday for you, man.
Yeah, well, so Win FM got things for you all day, guys.
Yeah, man.
But if you joined us on Facebook, YouTube, we appreciate you so much. Remember to like, share, comment, be a part of what's happening right here on Island Tea every morning, Monday to Friday.
We got some special interviews next week.
Yeah, next week can be spicy.
I can't tell you about them yet, but
Yeah, next week can be spicy, bye. So make sure you come join us. If you listen to us on the radio, big up yourself. Make sure you turn up the radio loud. In the words of friend of the show, Statics, loud. Right? And yeah, the callers, big up yourself. Especially those of you who backing up Putin. Y'all are the real gangsters, bye.
Bye, I had strong out there, bye.
Y'all are the real gangsters, bye.
I on a different type of type.
so they're sorry for Putin, bye.
All right.
But that's what, hey, Jay, I tell you, I love talking to people with different points of view.
Me too, bye.
Like, you really give something.
Hey, we friend for yesterday, they call back?
No, because she find the right number.
Oh, okay, she find the station. Okay. Let's make it sure. Guys, go check out our clips on Instagram. Over there is a lot of fun. Got some special clips over there for you.
But yeah, we got some from today, I could tell you that. We got a couple today too.
Ooh, but it's been real.
Yeah, but you can't be following this year. But you want to make me follow me, Chef Jay?
I'm going to cut it, man. You better believe.
Oh my gosh.
You better believe that guy on Instagram today.
Oh boy. But yeah, guys, it's time. Remember, spend more time living your content than posting it, and you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Gonna see you guys on Monday.